Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Cyber security is the practice of defending computers. The screen is visible.
Yes, sir. It's visible.
Okay. Good morning, friends.
Good morning, sir.
Yesterday, we are discussing about the cyber laws and the securities over there. So in that, we have a malware as a different malwares are there. That is a virus or a Trojan or a spyware or a ransomware will be there, adware, then botnets. Like that, different types of malwares are available, which are used to which are used the terms for this particular cyber warfare. The virus means a self-replicating program that attaches itself. That means whenever you are creating, whenever you are saving any document, so it creates automatically a junk file over there, the star or the tilde mark along with the file name, and it is going to make a copy of that. 2 or 3 files will be automatically created that will harm your source file, and you won't get the contents actually. Then the Trojan is a type of malware that is disguised as a legitimate software. The criminals tricks use into upload the Trojans onto their computer where they cause damage or the collecting the data. So Trojan is used to send the mails or programs over there that will harm your computer, as well as they are going to collect the confidential data stored in that particular computer. Then a spyware is a program that secretly records what the user does. That means using that particular computer, whatever operations you want to perform, or if you are using a confidential data, or you are sending or transferring any money from one account to another account, all these things are recorded. Those things are accessed by the cyber criminals over there. They are trying to get their information. Then it may be a credit card details, like that they are going to get the information using a spyware. Then ransomware is the malware which locks down a user's files and the data. So that means you are unable to open the stored file, whatever you have created the file, those things will not be there. So it will be locked. Whenever you are asking to open that particular thing, you are not allowed to open that. So adware is a advertising software which can be used to spread a malware. So it is adware is a advertising software. Then botnets is a network based. That means whenever two or more computers are connected, that time it is going to infect in that particular computers. The cyber criminals used to perform the task online without the user's permission. So same network is accessed to perform the different operations without the administrator or the owner's permission over there. Then another thing is SQL injection. That means a SQL is a structured query language where the data is stored in the form of a table over there. A different fields are available, like a serial number or a register number, name of a student, then the marks scored by the 6 subjects, then what is the total average class, like that. Different fields are available. If you take the employee organization, then I employee code, employee name, what are the basics, DA, HRA, that, like that. A salary structure is stored in that particular table. So in the data is stored in the form of a table. Those tables are accessed in the form of structured query language statements. They are using illegal commands to access the particular data stored by the computer system or the SQL database over there. So an SQL is a structured query language injection, is a type of cyber attack used to take control and steal data from the database over there. So this the next one is a phishing, when the cyber criminals targets victims with the emails. That means phishing is sending emails. When you open that particular email, the whatever the programs they are included in that particular file, they will run automatically and it will harm your computer system. That is a phishing. Then man in the middle attack is the type of cyber threat where the cyber criminals intercepts or the communication between two individuals in order to steal the data. For example, an unsecure Wi-Fi network. So when the computer is connected to internet, a Wi-Fi connection will be there. So if it is not secured, they may take your data for the different purpose. The usage will be a different purpose over there. So without your permission, they are going to perform those operations over there. So denial of service attack is the malware where cyber criminals prevent to a computer system from fulfilling legitimate or request for the overwhelming the networks and servers with the traffic. That means if you want to perform any operation, unnecessary traffic you may feel, then that will may not asking give the permission to perform that particular task. So you are not unable to perform the operations over there. So unnecessary traffic jam will be there. So transferring the data from one system to another system or requesting any operations for the servers, that is not possible due to the traffic over there. That is the denial of service. So we have discussed so many things regarding this. What is the need of cyber security now, from the social media to online banking to digital hospitals records? Every piece of our lives are available on the internet. Hackers and other nefarious characters can fight to gain access to this information and use it for their own purposes over there. In the essence, everyone needs a cyber security. So each and every person, whatever they are performing the operations, they require a cyber security over there. So yesterday we have seen what is cyber security, then application security, then network security, mobile security, and cloud security, then disaster recovery or business continuity planning. All these things we have already seen this. Today we are going to study the details about all those things. A cyber attack is a deliberate attempt by external or internal threats or attackers to exploit or they compromise the confidentiality. That means whatever the data is stored as a confidential, they are going to access those things. Integrity and the availability of information systems of a target organization or the individual. So it may be from the organization, it may be an individual computer over there, or it may be an education center. Like that, they are going to access the information, they are going to take the data from that particular system. Cyber attackers use illegal methods, they are going the tools and approaches to cause damages and disruption or gain unauthorized access to the computers or the devices or the networks application and a database. So they are using illegal commands, the illegal methods they are using to access that particular thing. It may be a computer system, it may be uh, uh, mobile phones or network devices or the network applications over there or the database stored in the form of SQL table. So they are trying to access those particular thing, that is unauthorized accessing of that particular data stored in the computer over there. So there are different methods they are applying to take the data. A cyber attacks come in a wide variety, and the following are the list of highlights. Some of the important ones are that criminals and attackers use to exploit the software. So we have studied this malware, ransomware, what is injection attacks like a SQL injection or the cross-site scripting, session management, and man in the middle attacks. Then what is phishing, what is denial of service, privilege escalation, unpatched and unvulnerable software, then remote code execution, brute force. These remaining things we are going to study in the later sessions over there. Then what is the two words we are using in this particular session? One is cyber attack and another one is security breach. Remember that these two words are different. Actually, in the general thinking, we may consider that both are these things are similar, but actually in the technical format, it is not the similar. They are going, their functionality is different over there. Is it audible? Friends, is it audible? Is it audible?
Yes, yes, audible.
Okay. So we are using two words like cyber attack and security breach. Remember that cyber attack is nothing but when someone is trying to access illegal things. They may not succeed in that, but they are trying to access the data from the particular source or the computer system or mobile phones or some other way. If they are trying, that is called cyber attacking. Security breach means what? Successful. They are getting the data from that particular system. After trying so many methods, they are taking or they are successful to get that particular data. That is called security breach. A cyber attack is not exactly the same as the security breach. A cyber attack, as discussed above, is an attempt to compromise the security of a system. They are trying to get the data, but it is not confirmed that they will get the data. That is cyber attack. A cyber attack is the security of a system. The attackers try to exploit the confidentiality, integrity, or availability of a software or a network by using various kinds of cyber attacks as outlined in the above section. So, so many methods we have studied in that particular, using those methods, they are trying to access the data. Security breach, on the other hand, is a successful event or incident in which a cyber attack results in a component comprise of sensitive information, unauthorized access to IT systems, or disruption of services over there. So they may harm to our system, or they may stop our regular activities of the company or the IT systems over there, or they will get the data, sensitive information will be getting from that. So security breach means what? They are getting the data from that particular system, or they are trying to stop our regular activities, like that. They are successful in that particular thing, operations. But the cyber attack means they are trying to access that data. They want to harm that particular system, like that. When they are trying, it is called a cyber attack. When they are succeeding in that particular getting the information, that is called security breach. So attackers consistently try to multitude of cyber attacks against their targets with a determination that one of them would result in a security breach. So many methods they are applying. Some or the other way, if they are getting, that becomes a security breach over there. So hence security breach is also highlighted another significant part of a complete cyber security strategy, which is a business continuity and incident response. We are using the small word as BC and IR for business continuity and the incident response over there. So BCIR helps an organization with dealing in the case of successful cyber attacks. So BCIR helps an organization with dealing in case of a successful cyber attacks. Business continuity relates to a breach. Business continuity relates to keeping critical business system online when struck with a security incident, whereas incident response deals with the responding to a security breach and to limit its impact, as well as facilitating the recovery of IT and business system. So just read this paragraph once again. Business continuity and incident response, two words we are using. BCIR helps an organization with dealing in case of successful cyber attacks. So it is dealing with a particular successful attack. That means a cyber breach is involved in that security breach. So they are getting the information. A BCIR helps an organization with dealing in case of successful cyber attacks. If they are harmed to the system, then how to continue with the business, same business, how to, if the data is destroyed, how to get that particular data. So business continuity relates to keeping critical business system online when struck with a security incident, whereas incident response, this is about the business continuity, whereas incident response is the deals with responding to a security breach and to limit its impact as well. So it is going to, if they are getting the data, how to avoid those things, how to make a security over there from the IT or the business system over there. So these two words are different from that particular cyber security. The business continuity is when the data is destroyed from the system, how you are continuing your business in from the next day onwards. When the IR is helps us to, when the particular cyber attackers take the data, how to avoid it, or the how to continue with that particular thing, how to deal with that, those things are incident response over there. So there are some practices where that cyber security will help us. That means as top 10 or top 11 best practices are listed here. That is, one is conduct cyber security training and awareness. That means you need to conduct the sessions over there for security purpose, how they are harm to your system, how you can avoid those things. If your system is connected to internet, you need to avoid this Wi-Fi connection over there. So Wi-Fi should be secured, so you should have a password protected so that no one is allowed to access your data. A strong cyber security strategy would not be successful if the employees are not educated on the topics of cyber security. So in the is it audible?
Yes, sir.
The screen is visible now.
Yeah, sir, it's visible.
Okay, so first one, conducting cyber security training and awareness. A strong cyber security strategy would not be successful if the employees are not educated on the topics of cyber security. So in the employees, so many levels are will be there, working level or the manager level or the CEO level will be there. So they, depending on their level, they are going to access the data from the server as well as otherwise a computer system over there. They should have trained, they are, to avoid the illegal access. If workers are trying to get take illegal access from the top level, so how it can be avoided. So you should have awareness program where the particular thing, where the particular security they want to. Mantesh, Mantesh sir. Mantesh sir. Mantesh sir, video off ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. So the employees from any organization, they should have well trained how to make a security for the stored data, company policies and incidents reporting. That means what are the company policy will be there. The data should not go outside the company or the organization over there. They should have well trained. They should have a knowledge of a cyber security. So to avoid the illegal access or illegal data going out from the any organization. Even the best technical defenses may fall apart when the employee employees make unintentional or intentional malicious. That means some of the defense in the defense part, they are going to get the data, or they are releasing the data intentionally or unintentionally, the actions resulting in a costly security breach. So they may harm to our entire department or the entire sections over there. So educating the employee and raising awareness of company policies and security is the best practices through the seminars, classes, online courses is the best way to reduce negligence and the potential of a security violation. So how to protect our data? So by conducting online classes over there, or the classes with the seminars or online courses they may conduct to make awareness about the data security or the cyber security to protect our data. Then second one is performance risk assessment. So when organization should perform a formal risk management assessment to identify all valuable assets and prioritize them based on the impact caused by an asset when it is compromised. This will help organization decide how to best spend their resources on securing each valuable asset. So when the confidential things are there, they should be secured. They may not be accessed by the regular work there. So employees may have accessing, they are going to perform the operations on that particular data. Whatever it is required, they are going to get only those data. So the higher level data can't be accessed by the lower level. So that type of data can be taken to prevent the assets of a company. They can safeguard their assets over there. The third one is ensure vulnerability management and software patch management or the updates. So whatever the software they are installed, it should be updated properly. It is a crucial for organization or IT teams to perform identification or a classification or remediation or the mitigation of vulnerability within the all the softwares and networks that it uses. So every time it has to be checked properly whether the softwares are updated or not. If the softwares are not updated, it may harm to our system, as well as the illegal access can be taken place to reduce these threats against the IT systems. So you need to check each and every time what are the data are available, whether the softwares they are using, whether they are properly working or not, they are updated properly, how their data is classified. All these necessary things has to be taken place. Furthermore, security researchers and attackers identify new vulnerability within various softwares every now and then, which are reported back to the software vendors or released to the public over there. So the entire thing, whatever the software they are using, it should be checked properly over there. Please switch off your videos. Keeping IT systems up to date helps to protect the organizational assets. So whatever the software they are using, it should be updated properly. They should be used properly, and whatever the required things are there, only these things are should be available to the different levels of that particular organization, so that we can protect the organizational assets over there. The fourth that practice is use the principle of least privilege. The principle of least privilege dictates that both software and personnel should be allotted the least amount of permission necessary to perform their duties. So same thing they have discussed, the different levels will be there. According to that, the data can be accessed from their levels, a working level or managerial level or CEO level. Like that, they can distinguish them, and only the data is available to their levels. This helps limits the damage of successful security breach, as user accounts or the software having lower permission would not be able to impact a valuable asset that requires a higher level set of permission. So unless and until a permission will be there, they can't access that particular thing. The data is should not be available. Like that, you can make arrangements over there so that they can avoid, they can make a security of that. Also, two factors authentication should be used for all high level user accounts that have unrestricted permissions over there. So you must have seen that whenever you are working on an ATM system, it is going to ask the, it is going to ask the particular code that should be entered. If you are entering a particular code, then only you will be allowed to perform any operation like depositing a amount or withdrawing a amount from that particular bank. That means some authentication will be there. Then only the computer or the machine, the electronic machine, will understand that you are using a particular account is used by the authenticated persons. So you must have seen that whenever you are logging on to the my Gmail or any other mails over there, it is asking username and the password. Unless and until you provide a password to that, it will not be entered into that particular mailbox. You should have authentication so that we can avoid this cyber attacks over there. Then the next one is enforce secure password storage and policies. Organization should have enforced the strong passwords. So whenever you are providing any password, someone should not guess that particular thing. So it should include a special character, should include a numeric format, then alphabets. In alphabets also, it may be having uppercase and lowercase inclusion. So like that, the combination of these things, the passwords can be used over there. So that organization should reinforce the use of strong password. You can say that strong password means what? It should include uppercase, lowercase, special characters, then numbers for that, so that no one should guess that particular thing. So organization should enforce the use of strong password that adhere to industry recommended standards for all employees. They should also be enforced to be periodically changed to help protect from compromised password. So regular time, once in a 15 days or a monthly once, they should change that particular password so that we can safeguard the particular data. Password storage should follow the industry best practices of using salts and a strong hashing algorithm. So before providing the password, we should see the hashing algorithm so that how the passwords can be kept for this particular file or accessing the data over there. So you should have these best practices to avoid the cyber attacks over there. This is the continuation of this.